Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jay from Revolution Radio, and I have a lot to talk about and a whole lot of backlog to work on. I felt like there was a few things I needed to get to, but other things keep coming up, and one of them happened today. So I rent my house, and my house was damaged on the outside. I wouldn't even say vandalized. Just a small dent. Looked like maybe a car had just kind of bumped into it. Um, Nothing major. Anyway, so this happened earlier in the week, and I had been putting off dealing with it because partially I don't really care that much, but my landlord wanted me to handle it, and I was told to file a police report. Now, in our day and age, it makes me a little eerie to do that, and partially um, because a majority of my neighbors are of Latinx descent, and so am I. And it was the oddest thing because if I don't do this, insurance won't pay for it, which means I lose my deductible. Or sorry, I mean I lose my deposit, which my deposit was a lot of money, and can't really afford to do that. I mean, we're talking like over $1,000. And I did nothing illegal, I've done nothing wrong, but I just don't really like the police around my house. And I don't really want the police, I don't want my neighbors to think I'm calling the police on them. But it turned into a perfect storm because I did, in fact, set up a police report. The police showed up, and just so happened my neighbors were having a birthday party. Our houses are very close, and while I was giving my report, my neighbors were right next to me, and it seems that my neighbor actually was the one who bumped into my house. Now, I wish they would have just told me. We could have dealt with it a lot simpler. I began to get nervous about the whole thing because the majority of my neighbors and the neighbors next door to me um, speak Spanish. They don't speak English as well. And while I was giving my statement, almost right next to them, explaining what I had noticed, what I saw, um, and giving very little information because I didn't really have very much information. I'm not an outdoors guy, so I barely look at my house. Um, but when I was done giving my statement, the police officer asked me, "Where are you born?" Where was I born? And for the most part, I've learned you just do what police tell you to do, and yes sir, no sir, and keep your hands where they can see you. But this insulted me at a to the core of who I am. It insulted me. It insulted me and made me feel embarrassed. Why embarrassed? Because I was too stupid to realize I should have talked to my neighbors beforehand. I should have told them I was calling police. I should have realized that all the stuff I see and all the stuff I report on, it's out there and it's in my neighborhood. I was just so naive. I didn't really think about it. Now I asked the police officer, who was nice about asking it. I said, "Why do you need to know that information?" And they told me, "Well, it's something we like to have on file." And I said, isn't that something that the census is supposed to be for? Why is that something that a police officer needs to be asking? They said that it was a new protocol. I said, oh, within the last couple of years, huh? Since a certain president took place? Since a certain agency has gotten large? Yeah, they refused to answer my question, but I think they saw what side I was going with. And I think they also became a little nervous because they realized at that point it wasn't me versus my neighbor. And it really wasn't us versus them. It was the fact that they boxed us in. We were in a corner. And property damage, whatever, who cares? I could already see the writing on the wall. Now, I was born here, and I have all my paperwork, I'm sure. I don't know where I'd find it, to be honest. I have my social security card, my birth certificate, but I have no idea where my passport is or any of the other stuff you're supposed to have. But I was fairly confident I'd be okay. It was my neighbor I was really worried about. I finally answered the question, told the police officer where I'm from, and I proceeded to wait until they were done talking to my neighbor. Now, luckily, they didn't have to file anything because she admitted that she did it, and I called my landlord to plead with my landlord not to file anything and to handle things, you know, one-on-one, not deal with the cops, not deal with the justice system. My landlord instructed me that I was to be responsible. If for some reason they don't pay, whatever, I will be responsible for that. And I gladly took that because I'd much rather have done that to begin with. I feel like I dodged a giant bullet because things could have gotten really bad. I'm not saying that my neighbors are illegal. I don't know. And I don't care. The only reason I do is because I don't want them to be taken away. This is America now. And I should know that. I should definitely know that. Also, tonight, Turkey invading Syria. They claimed their first territory, their first town. Well, it's basically too late to do anything now. I think Donald Trump is rethinking what he planned on doing. I'm pretty sure that he was in a certain mindset when he decided to let Turkey, when he gifted our allies and Syria up on a plate. I believe he was in a different mindset. And once he had a clear head, he realized that that was ridiculous. I've always been of one mindset, and I don't often agree with people like Lindsey Graham. But on this, I did. I agree with the Israeli government, the Saudi Arabian government. It's about being strong to your convictions. I rarely come together with that side. And Donald Trump is in a very bad situation because people like me, the progressives, the radical left, that y'all are just scared of because we're just crazy. The evangelical Christians, the Lindsey Grahams, the Israeli government, we're all against this move. and this move was major. There's no way you're putting that toothpaste back in that tube. It's not doing well for his political numbers. He is tanking fast. And there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. We could bring the greatest president into office right now, and they couldn't fix this situation. You can't tell Turkey, so you got your tanks here, your people are here, because yes, the ground invasion has happened. You've captured a town. I'm going to need you to go ahead and turn around. Yeah, we can't do that. It's not going to work. On this one, President Adderall went balls in and just ended up looking like a giant asshole. But you know what, though? What a faux pas. Boy, isn't his face red. But there's a giant mass grave filling because of his mistake. We're embarrassed. We made a bad mistake. Thousands of people are going to die because of our mistake. And there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing we can do about it. We have to sit back and decide what we're going to do now. Because the Kurds in Syria are talking about working together. And I think that's actually really good, to be honest, for those people. The Kurds are in a bad spot, either way. But if they could establish a relationship with Syria, I think that would be good for them. But they're entrenched in a war now. These things don't often just end. Ask Iraq. It's going to result in a lot of lives lost. And all of this because our president can't keep his nose clean. Because he's two different people. Or because he's ignorant. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to get that in tonight. Let me know your thoughts on all of it. I appreciate all the feedback. Truly, I do. I love you guys. Jay Dillon on Facebook, Community of Ideas, YouTube, Revolution Radio. You guys all know it. You guys have a great evening. I'll try to get another video up tomorrow. Good night.